Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with TP-Link. We have two distinguished gentlemen here. First, we have Ronald Dennis, the Regional National Sales Manager, and Vincent Tu, the Product Engineer. Both of them will be presenting today, and if anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box, and Ron and Vincent will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Ron, Vincent, thank you so much for being with us today. I am finished for now. Please go ahead and take it on over.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Microcom. Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for the opportunity to present the TP-Link product line and solution to you guys. Again, my name is Ronald Dennis. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for TP-Link, and I handle the Microcom account specifically. Vincent Tu is our Enterprise and SMB Product Engineer. Him and I work very closely together, and he will talk more about application. I'll talk a little bit about the products in general, TP-Link in general, etc. So let's get started. Next slide. We're going to talk, the agenda is basically very simple. We're going to talk a little bit about the company overview. If you're not familiar with TP-Link, I'll make this very brief. Talk a little bit about the company, who we are, some of our product overview. We'll discuss our product updates. We'll talk about the purpose of this webinar, which is a software-driven network. Some people refer to it as a software-defined network, but TP-Link refers to it as software-driven network, and Vince will talk about that in more detail. And then we'll also talk about what TP-Link provides to you and your customers. Next slide. Company overview. Basically, TP-Link is a very large organization, and we have about 44 global subsidiaries. And what that means is we have 44 basic locations in which we do business out of 170 plus countries. We have about 150 automated production lines, and what that means is that's where all of our products are being produced over a given period of time. We have about almost close to 9,000 employees. The interesting part is that every 4.8 seconds, one of our products are sold. And since our inception, we've sold over 1.2 billion products. Now, keep in mind that this data is based off of 2018, 2019 statistics. So we've probably sold a lot more since then. We have always been the world's #1 consumer in Wi-Fi routing since 2017 to present. And for the last 30 consecutive quarters, we have had the highest market share. In addition, our market share is greater than the next 9 brands combined. As I said, most of this information is based off of 2017 through 2019 data, and I'm sure we'll have updated data for you guys by the end of 2020. Next slide, please. We have 4 research and development facilities. Basically, the facilities produce SOHO and SMB products, ISP and central office equipment, video surveillance products, and our smart home products. Our corporate office is based out of Shenzhen, China. We have about 10 million square feet of facility where we do our production, 1,800 plus engineers, and Vince is one of them. And the important part and interesting part is that we spend about close to 9% of our revenue on research and development. Our goal is to try to find out exactly what your customers need, what you need, and how we can develop our products to fit and service that need. Next slide, please. The spectrum of products is very brief. It's a 30,000-foot level. We're going to talk more in detail about them. I can provide you with more detailed information about specific products. So, for example, we have our SOHO side, which is our routers, Wi-Fi 6 routers, and our gaming routers. Our switches, mostly those come in plastic cases, but we do have some metal cases for our SOHO side. Power line, range extenders, our portable routers, which is very popular as of late, as well as our wireless adapters because of this COVID-19 situation. A lot of people are working remotely. Then, of course, our smart home products. We also have a very robust Wi-Fi mesh solution. As I mentioned, it is probably the most popular solution that we have produced in a very short period of time. On our business class side, our enterprise side, we have our VPN routers, managed switches, which are PoE smart, easy smart switches as well, which is all managed by our Omada solution, and our managed access points, as well as our long distance and fiber products. Next slide, please. We're going to talk a little bit about our product updates, and then we're going to get more in detail, and Vincent will then talk more about the product application. Next slide, please.
Hi everyone, this is Vincent. In our product presentation, we're going to have it in two sections. The first section will be the product updates, and it will update that what we're doing lately with our current products. For example, that we typically provide the kinds of switches from the 5-port, 8-port, 24 to 48 ports, and we do have the unmanaged and managed switches. On the managed switch part, that we improve the features all the way, and especially focus on the video and the audio networking. And lately, we update our features to good to service with the video networking for the 4K streaming. And we did have a deployment proof that we're working very good with the QCs and the DNT system. And for unmanaged switches, that we're focusing on connecting more and more devices well, and especially for the surveillance and safe network, not only for the video network, but also for the remote PoE phones. For example, you have the warehouse, you have the remote phone, maybe you have far away from your server room, and there may be actuation system device or the paging call in your front gate, it is far away, and we do have the PoE switches to deal with that. And one of the best feature for the managed switch is that we provide an extra copper uplink, and in before we provide the only fiber extra uplink port to the center switch. And because if you're going to use the fiber connection, you have to spend the extra cost on the fiber and the SFP modules. And a lot of customers asking us to put the copper uplink, and we hear the feedback, and we do it. And so we're going to make more copper link upper link port in our new switches, unmanaged switches. And what by that means is that if we have the 4-port switch, we have the we make it 5-port. The 5th port will be the uplink. For the 8-port switch, we have the 9-port or 10-port. For 16-port, we have 18-port. The additional port is for the uplinks. And for the longer range of the PoE, as I mentioned, if you have the PoE phone in your warehouse, you have the paging in your gateway, you need a long range of more than 100 meters of the Ethernet connection, and need the power and the data transmissions. And we do have the switches that can work on the longer range, more than 100 meters, and we can support it up to 250 meters with the data and the power. And more than that, if you have the managed switch working with the video surveillance network, and sometimes you're going to connect to other device that need a data connection, but not that important as your security, as your surveillance system. So we provide the easy subnet system on the unmanaged switch with the port isolation and port priority. So you can make sure that you can mix and match all the devices on the same switch, and guarantee that the traffic will flow through as you want. And the last feature for the latest update is the PoE recovery. This is the features that sometimes that our PoE device is on a very remote site, and sometimes it is in the weather condition is very hot or very humid, is outdoor or somewhere, and sometimes it will just not working. So we do have the switch to detect if the device is still alive or not. And sometimes easy reboot will resolve the problem. So our switch can detect if the device is still there. If it is not respond, we can just reboot it, and if it works and everything's good, you don't have to go there and shut down and power cycle and do everything. The switch will do it for you.
And with that, just briefly, the whole focus behind that is our physical security and access control. So our focus has been on physical security as well as unified communication. These products were designed specifically as a result of customers' inquiries. So our research and development, as I mentioned before, helps us develop these types of products based off of your requests and your requirements, as well as what the market will bear. Thank you, Vince.
Okay. Yeah, and for the long range communication, as you know, that we do have 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz of the connection for 3, 6, or 18 miles of the connection, and upcoming that we're going to have 11 AC dual band connection with the same performance of the long haul point to point, and for the optic fiber, we do provide the symmetrical connection, and upcoming we're getting back the WDM single fiber solution in our media converter or the SFP module. And for the long range copper solution, as I mentioned in previous slide, that we provided up to 250 meter of the data and power connection. This is the updates for the new products. And for the home smart home devices, we're very successful in the market, in the retail and the consumer market, that people like the Casa device, and the app, it was rated 4.8 in App Store. That means it is a very high rating in and customer satisfactions. And we're taking one step more, cooperate with the third-party company, that the third-party company, they integrate their software and with the energy companies such as Edison, and they're doing the billing system, software system, cloud system all together. And so the household, they can subscribe their service. So the energy company, when they feel like there's a electricity shortage, they can shut down the power hungry device in your home, and such as the refrigerator for 1 hour or some time. And the subscriber as a consumer, they can benefit get the reward from the participation, from the real money from the energy company. How can you do it? You don't have to do the billing. The third party integrator will do it for you, and our device is participate in this kind of project to save the energy and end user get money.
And just to add on that, we are currently working with, as Vincent mentioned, some of the resellers and system integrators that currently utilize our products specifically for managing energy. And what they do is they have an arrangement, in this case with the state of California, where they are providing a rebate on consuming energy. So they may monitor the energy, and then they also monitor the product and then turn it on or off at certain set times. Once you join the system or log in, you'll be able to see how much you've saved in terms of kilowatts, as well as how much money you've earned as a result. So we have some great products for smart home. Thank you, Vincent.
Yeah. Yes, I didn't put all the detailed information for the updated products or the features or the time schedule. If you're interested, you're welcome to email or call Ronald or me for all the details. And for the next section will be Omada solution. Okay. So as you know, that Omada was a very successful Wi-Fi solution in the market, and we have deployed to many locations. The base for a couple hundred to a couple thousand. The biggest site right now, we have the 5,000 of the access point for one service provider. And right now we're going to evolve it into the SDN solution, not only the Wi-Fi solution. So what's the new here? The new here is that we're going to have the Wi-Fi 6 access point, and we're going to include a switch and router in the system as well. So here's the detail. So for the new access point, right now, as of today, we do have EIP 115 for 2.4 gigahertz, EIP 225 and 245 for dual band, and they're the major access point we're providing nowadays. And moving forward, we're going to have the high density EAP 265 running on the 11 AC as well. And we're going to have the 3 Wi-Fi 6 models, 620 HD, 660 HD, and 690 HD. They're running at 1.8 gig, 3.6 gig, and 6 gig of the wireless traffic. So that's the major improvement in the access point part. And as well that we're going to provide the switches and routers under the control of the same controller. That in the first stage, we're going to provide 2 8-port switch. All 3 switches are PoE, and 2 are 8-port and 1 are 24 ports. And later on, we're going to have the 16-port and 48-port, but they will be in the next stage. And for the 2 routers, and if you're familiar with the TP-Link product, the R605 was converted from the R600 VPN. All the feature will be remaining the same, but it will be controlled by the Omada controller. So all the setup will be much more easier than before. And ER7206, there is a special design in here. You probably can see there's a little port, SFP port on the WAN. So you can connect it to the symmetric fiber, but it is rare. Or you can plug in PON-ONT SFP module. So you can just connect with the fiber service as a WAN port directly. Okay. So this slide shows that currently the Omada Wi-Fi system, one of the best features is that you can just control it remotely. For example, for a school district, you can set up a controller in your district office, and you can control everything in the schools. And before that, you can only control the Wi-Fi, and with the SDN service, you can control also the switch and the routers. And for the Wi-Fi system, in the Omada Wi-Fi system, we are not only expand our product line with the switch and router, we also improve the Wi-Fi features. And what area we're improving? Most likely in the deployment, we improve the performance a lot. We all know that in the real deployment, that the most factor to infect the good successful deployment is eliminate the interference. So we did a lot of study and in-house to explore what is the maximum access or throughput for the system. And in the field that we do have some simulated or in the field deployment experience and to improve our systems. And this example is deployment for the basketball court. Okay, those features that sorry, the MIMO, band steering, low bands, airtime fairness, you've already heard about in our Omada wireless system. And upcoming with the Omada SDN system, we're going to add in on top of those old features, and we're going to add the centralized cloud management, zero-touch provisioning, AI-driven technology, etc. And the later on slide will explain all the features that we're going to implement. For example, the first one, the centralized cloud management. In before, we do provide a cloud connection to connect your controller, but you have to have the controller to manage your system. Either you buy an OC200, it is a controller with the hardware, or you download the free software, install in your computer or install on the AWS. And anyway, you have to have the controller, and our cloud is just helping your mobile device to find where is the controller, how can you connect it, and how can you control it. And we're going to do it one more step. We install the controller ourselves, and so you don't have to worry about where is the controller. Actually, it is on the cloud, so it can be accessed anywhere. And we manage the resource, we manage the updates. You can just have the subscription account, and well, everything will work. And additional feature with the cloud controller implement is the zero-touch provisioning. It is a Meraki-like provisioning service. What I mean is that you can just have the later on access point from the retail store from anywhere, from a channel directly to the customer. You don't have to touch it, and the access point is going to be recognized and adapt to your account, to your controller, to your control, and everything is working on the back end with the cloud, so you don't have to do anything. That is the benefit that when you use the subscription account. Okay, as mentioned, that we do a lot of research in improving the interference, eliminate the interference. And one of the features is that how can we do the channel selection and the power adjustment. And of course, as you know, that using the RF detection, the RF survey is one of the way. And we implement more than that. We're using the artificial intelligence to detect the RF spectrum, and also detect what is the traffic pattern to try to do the auto channel selection and power adjustment to eliminate the interference. So make the traffic overall performance better. So that is our approach. At the same time that we add a lot of feature in the same controller, and everything, all the settings are getting more complicated. But we do have a more simplified way to do it. That we do implement the very easy to see, to use portal, the new look for you, so you can easy to manage it. And this screen shows that this one is a live controller on the cloud right now. So when you go into the controller, logging into it, you can see the dashboard. And actually, this one is a default one. You can just make the change whatever you want. You can choose the panel, and you can disable the channel, and you can choose whatever you want on the first page for the dashboard. And then it will show the statistics of the devices. It can show the topology. It can show the device list, and when you click it, there will be the details. You can see what's the client. There's no client right now for this test site. And you can have all the setup here. Okay, this is the new look of our new controller. Going on, because we're going to have the Wi-Fi 6 access point in our new system, so it's very good for the high density Wi-Fi deployment, not only on the RF management, but also the real multi-user MIMO. That is good not only for the download, but also for the upload, and for the coloring, tagging, and you can just do the transmission at the same time. It's very good for multi-user in the high density environment. One more thing is for the security network application. And you can see that we put everything, the switch and routers inside of the same controller. And what is the extra benefit for that is that in the old days, all of our switches has the ACL, and of course the router has ACL as well, and it has a firewall built-in as well. But in real deployment, not a lot of people is going to use the ACL or the firewall. One of the reasons is that they don't know. It is hard to learn how to do it, or if you know how to do it, sometimes because they are separate devices, and sometimes the traffic is going to be blocked, and you have to troubleshoot and to find which one is setting up wrong. But with the SDN controller, and everything is going to be very obvious. And the setup is very easy. The troubleshooting is very easy. So you're going to use the ACL and firewall feature anyway. And before, our router already have the VPN connection, just that you have to go in through some steps of the setup during the COVID-19 the period that we do sell out all of our VPN router because everybody is at their home. Even though there's some steps to set up, they still feeling good with those features. And with the SDN controller, it's going to be one step more. You can just have only a couple click, and the VPN is going to be done. So you don't have the learning curve is going to be very, very, very smooth. That is our SDN system is going to have. And for all the Microcom customer, if you're familiar with the Ubiquiti, here's a quick reference table that from the Ubiquiti model comparing to our models. So you can compare the access point on this page. And the major difference between our design philosophy and Ubiquiti design philosophy is that they do spend a lot of time in 11AC 4x4 access point, and we do not have the 4x4 11AC access point. We're taking another approach. We're going to bring in the latest technology with the Wi-Fi 6 11ax technology in our new access point. And performance-wise, of course, the latest technology will be better. And this slide is showing that the switch that if you're familiar with the Ubiquiti part number, and on the right-hand side is our TP-Link matching up switch. So that's the product part. Ron?
Very good. Oh, well, thank you very much. So, and with that, Vincent, thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. I want to let you guys know about a couple of things that are very important with regards to the TP-Link Omada solution, our SMB, and our enterprise class solution. All of our products have a limited lifetime warranty. What that basically means is that unless you take that product and you deliberately run over it with a truck or you try to destroy it in some way, we will be able to honor that product for the life of the product. Normally, obviously, there is a refresh time for these products and new technology and things like that. But these are a limited lifetime warranty. And we can talk more specifically about what that entails. You can always reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to talk with you about that. Another important part is the economy of scale. TP-Link is truly a vertically integrated manufacturer. What that simply means, we know what vertically integrated means, that we produce, manufacture, support, sell. We do everything for the product from beginning to end. Obviously, we have our distribution and our reseller channel, but we still stand behind that from beginning to end. As I mentioned to you as well, we try to maintain profitability with our products and keep them, selling for the right price. So we fully enforce our UAP policy and our MAP policy. Most of our, returns are from our customers. Our customers talk about our product. They say they like the product. So word of mouth is how we grow our business. We really do. It's from basically customers saying they love the product and they tell others about it. As I mentioned to you before, our growth, we take a lot of our money, our top line revenue, and we invest that into research and development by speaking with the customers and getting their feedback. And obviously our reliability. We have a very good, reliable product. People talk about it. That's why people come back to us. And we're happy to get you guys any more additional information about our product and hopefully help you guys sell more of it. And with that, I'd like to turn it back over to Julie. Julie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ron and Vincent, for that wonderful presentation. I'm sure everybody enjoyed it. And it looks like we do have a few questions for you. So we'll get started with the first one. And I'm sure either one of you can figure out who would be the best to answer. The first one looks like a technical question. It says here, are there any network design tools that TP-Link has available?
We do provide the deployments. For example, if you have the place you want to have the Wi-Fi survey planning or the real on-site survey or something, we do provide this kind of service. Depends on your project, and most likely all the project can have the virtual survey, and depending on the project, we can go on the site. And we do
Absolutely.
not, we do not have the tool from outside. Yeah.
Right. So we have an inside tool like Vince was referring to, with heat mapping and things like that. And we can provide you, Vince can certainly provide you with the bill of materials based off a predictive model. So obviously it won't be 100% because we'll have to go out there, you have to go out there sometime and then do the real application. But this is pretty accurate, and we'll be able to give you a bill of materials based off of that, so you can quote your customer.
Excellent. Thank you, Ron and Vincent. From our sales team, Ron, I believe someone here just wants to double check. You are our account representative, is that correct? And can I give out your contact information?
The two answers to that is yes and yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. I can take care of that. Thank you so much. Next question here for you. Does your TP-Link team recommend an authorized installer for your devices?
So sorry.
Well,
yeah.
Go ahead, Vincent. You go ahead, Vincent.
I'm not sure what's that mean. Authorized.
Okay.
Well, they're asking if we have someone that we recommend. So, for example, let's say we do a bill of materials. We say, well, you can use this system integrator or this managed service provider or this person to install the hardware. We don't specifically offer a specific individual to do that. We just provide you the full support from the manufacturer side. In terms of installation, that would be something that you would do on your own. We don't recommend a specific installer. We can tell you who to buy from. Like, for example, you buy the product from Microcom, then of course a Microcom, if they have someone they work with, can install the product, but we don't specifically offer an installation team per se.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for that. Next question here for you. Are your wireless point-to-point, do they come in packs or do customers need to purchase them separately?
Yeah, it is one by one. Yeah.
Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, it is one by one. Yeah, if you want to buy a bulk, just buy a box.
Okay, so they can obviously they could purchase whatever amount or number of their point-to-point devices that they need.
Absolutely, and sometimes it doesn't come in pairs. I mean, you may need 6, or you may need 7 access points to complete an environment or an application, or you may need 3 or 5. So yeah, you can buy them one piece, or you may only need 1 for the application. So yes.
Excellent. So there are choices there. Next question here for you. Regarding CASA, will this work with Ubiquiti devices, Philips, and other household Wi-Fi enabled devices?
Okay, CASA is a closed system, so that means by itself it cannot operate with other system. But the interface, we do have a couple interface. For example, one is the IFTTT. If you have the way to use the IFTTT, then you can control the CASA system. The other way is that you can use Alexa, the Amazon Alexa, or the Google Home, or if you are the third-party integrators, we open the API for you. And there are the ways to interact with the CASA system, but the system itself is closed.
Excellent. Thank you, Vincent. Next question here for you. Regarding auto channel selection, do you have any ways of displaying and monitoring which channel would be best to set up the device with Omada?
Okay, so we do have different phases. In the first beginning, when we're planning for our setting, we will join on the paper saying that, okay, if you use this channel, don't use it for the next access point. It is from the beginning. And the system is going to learn that if this channel performs well or not. You can see it from the statistical charts. And from there, we can do another change for the channel adjustments by the system or by manual.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. Next question here. You mentioned that you have a lot of engineers, and obviously Vincent is one of them. Can you give us an overview of your manufacturing?
Yeah, so
Hey, Ron?
when you say overview, yeah, overview of manufacturing. In terms of, Vincent, if you go back to that slide, I can talk more detail about the slide. But we have 10 million square feet of manufacturing facility. And most of our manufacturing is done through either in Vietnam or China. We do have research and development facilities. We have 4 research and development facilities. And as I mentioned before, one produces, like we have one in San Jose that focuses on the smart home side of the business. Then we have our video surveillance products, our ISP team, and we have a whole group that just focuses on the internet service providers and central office equipment, and then our SOHO and SMB products. So we have 4 research and development facilities, and the 18 plus engineers are a part of that. And they're throughout the country, throughout the world, obviously, but the majority of them will be stationed or will be residing, I would imagine, in China, because that's where most of our research and development is done. But as I said, we have San Jose, also obviously here in Brea, California, where Vincent is as well. So yeah, they help us to develop the product that we need. Also, when we need to have APIs opened or we need a new firmware written for a particular application, they help support that. So the engineers do more than just design. They help to promote the product in terms of opening the API, writing firmware applications, things like that. And we do that for a lot of our customers.
Excellent. Thank you for touching on that and giving us, more detailed information on your manufacturing and your engineers and all of that. Thank you. And thank you so much for answering all those questions for us this morning. And thank you to everyone attending today's webinar. If anyone has any further questions, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown here today, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And remember, this presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so you can view it again. Vincent, Ron, thank you so much for your time and all of your valuable information today. We greatly appreciate it. And until next time, everybody have a fantastic day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. Bye-bye now.
Bye.